Hello, how you guys doing? My name is Big Mooney. This here is the Battlefield 4 Top Plays episode number 30. You can check out last week's winner in the description down below, but let's get right into this week's Top Plays. For our first clip this week here, we have iDavidio or iDavidio or something along those lines. I'm sorry, I don't know how to say your name, but he's playing here in Operation Lockers, and he has an M416. You know, he was going to shoot the pipes up top there, but instead he saw that guy, shot him right in his face before he takes down his teammate and just gets right into the MCOM station. And he just clocked someone running past there who didn't even see him, I don't think. But he gets that shit armed, and he's going to continue this point streak. Take note, he's playing Hardcore Rush, which is something you don't see a lot of. And when he goes in that room just there, he just wipes out everyone in sight before he guns down another guy. Unfortunately, this guy just disarms, but he arms the MCOM station once again. With over 2,000 points in the current streak, that's a nice little way to start off this week's Top Play. For a second clip up today, we have TapeToDiabeetus. Yes, that's the guy's name. But he's playing out on Galmad Railway. And he's playing as an engineer. And he's going to be just around this flag for the whole clip. You know, defending, capping, that sort of stuff around here, playing some Conquest. And I believe there are 2 enemy tanks on the flag currently. They just captured it there. And as he goes in and approaching to see what the deal is, this guy just emerges out of the smoke and he just puts some bullets into his face. And this guy gets caught with his pants down. You need to be more careful. You can't just be capping flags right in the middle of it, just sitting there repairing a tank. That's how you end up losing your tank. And then once you lose your tank, pretty much everyone around you is up shit creek. That's basically what that enemy tank there just found out. And then there's these guys cruising around with C4 on their buggy because fuck it man, why not? And apparently the server this guy plays in, that just seems to be a thing that people do, is they just strap C4 everywhere and just try and ram things with them. But he takes down an enemy helicopter there. First time, nice little shot. It seemed to be in a bit of trouble, but he just put it out of his misery quickly and swiftly. And then I believe this is another guy just trying to approach and try and take his flag, and he's not having it. I'm not sure if the guy actually realized he was there before he came up there because there's a big fuck off tree in front of him, it's camouflage. But that other guy there had no excuse. He must have known there was a tank there, but instead he thinks trying to hide in a totally exploded house is really going to save him. It did not. But he sees someone off in the distance. He's like, I'm going to go over there, and then just realizes, actually, there's some people behind me. We want to defend this shit. He just worked his arse off trying to get this flag, and he's not going to let it just go back to the enemy team without a fight. So, as he backs up, these guys are just scrambling around in the middle of nowhere. I'm not too sure how the car over there doesn't just deal with them, but whatever. As he backs up, he kind of just runs into the indestructible titanium steel pole that apparently the flags are made of, and before he does take the guy out, eventually followed swiftly by another helicopter, getting his comeuppance, but somehow he doesn't get credited with the kill on the helicopter or any of the kills resulting from him shooting it down. I don't know. Just say Battlefield's weird sometimes when it comes to shit like that. But as this other tank approaches here, he decides instead of just sitting there and fighting, which I believe he would have won if he just sat there and just pummeled the tank with shells, he backs up, and then a jet comes out of nowhere and just helps him out that little bit. That's Battlefield for you, man. Team play. Now what I really do enjoy about this clip is he's just defending this one flag ferociously, not letting the enemy team back in to capture this flag, keeping the pressure on them and keeping them kind of locked into their spawn. They've only got 2 flags at this point, but you may have noticed already earlier on in the clip he got over 2,000 points in a single streak already twice in this episode. We've already seen that, so that is awesome. And it kind of slows down a little bit towards the end of the clip that we're watching just here as he's fighting off a tank. Another one of these guys shows up with the C4. He puts a bullet right in the guy's face, but not long before he gets smacked in the face also by another one coming in. A nice clip. And for today's what the fuck clip of the day here, we have Alex O to T, and he's playing on Dawnbreaker, and he's just gonna, you know, shoot this guy in the body. Unfortunately, he was aiming for the head, but just hit the guy in the chest, just misses out with the next 2 shots. And then, out of nowhere, he somehow gets him. What the fuck? For clip number 4 here, we have Fluffalafugas. Sorry if I said that wrong, I have no idea what that's supposed to say. But he is playing here on Paracel Storm. Right away at the start of the clip, takes his first target out with the M4 before taking down an enemy helicopter. And with some good movement there, he also takes down the next threat that almost killed him. As you can see down the bottom left there, his team is not faring too well at this moment in time, so it's time to get on the flag, try and cap that shit, and just sort of decrease the gap between the two teams that little bit, even though it kind of looks like his team's pretty much screwed. We took down another guy there with his M4. And question to you guys, do you guys actually like this gun? Not a lot of people actually use it because it's a burst fire weapon. Obviously it's a carbine, but don't see a whole lot of people using it. It just, I don't know, it's just weird. So leave a comment down below, do any of you guys actually like using the M4 and use it regularly? I think it's an okay gun. I don't necessarily use it all the time. But anyway, speeding through this part of the gameplay just here is going to move away from the flag that he's just capped. And you can see the enemy LAV sort of bobbing around in the river just there. Putting one shot in there, the guy's just sort of stranded. Not sure why he hesitates on the second shot right away, but he does spot a target across on the other island, and he takes him down with the M4 before finishing off this LAV that was just sitting there, waiting to be killed. And then as he backs up here, he takes out another helicopter. But he's ran out of RPGs, so it's time to just spray the crap out of the cockpit of the next helicopter, resulting in another kill. It's not very often you actually see that, especially at that sort of range. But he's not done with the enemy vehicles just yet. Even though he has no RPGs, he's going to have to take down any vulnerable enemies on this attack boat that approaches here. Takes down one guy before he sprays in a few more rounds, taking out a second guy who was on the gun before backing up, because there's nothing really much you can do now. Time to back up into the building, see what you can do from in here. And as he goes up the stairs here, he's confronted with an enemy, so he shoots him in the stomach, killing him instantly. Not sure what happens to the second guy. Maybe he was killed by a teammate, not sure. But in the end, what goes around comes around as he's killed by this random attack boat that's just beached over there. But that was an awesome clip. Next up here we have Hammer Troller HD. Now I'm not sure why, but he didn't show you marking his first target. Off to the left there, he's marked a tank for death. Some rockets are coming in as we speak. He's gone before he sends in his second missile that he guides into an enemy helicopter's face. That was a nice shot. I've never seen anyone do that before with the bomber. For clip number 6 today here we have googlyugly. As I've said previously, this guy's been sending in a lot of clips recently. A lot of very high quality clips. This time he's playing here in Highland Resort, and he's going to be doing some damage, especially with the M26 mass. Has this weapon been buffed recently or something? Because I've been seeing a lot more of it when it comes to top place submissions at least. No wonder. He just goes in the room there and clears it out. Everyone in there was dead in seconds before he takes down another guy there with his M416 primary, and then another guy who came charging in trying to investigate what the fucking commotion was. But like I've said in the past, this guy is a fucking beast. He does some damage to the enemy teams in the clips that he's been sending in to me. And in this clip, of course, it is no different, as he takes down one guy by shooting him right through his face. He does back up there because he's taking some damage. He's clever not running in there to get himself killed. Sometimes when you're overzealous, you can just end up with some holes in your face, and you don't really want that. Before he moves back in there, taking down another guy with the M416, and then retreats once again. That's not to say that this guy is a sort of defensive player or anything. He just knows when to throw himself into a firefight and when to back off. Because every now and again you're going to get yourself in a situation that you can't win no matter how good you are, so you need to be wary of that sort of thing. But he jumps down here after killing one guy and then shoots another guy in the arse there with the M26 mass, and then it's time to reload your gun and just sort of get a health back, recuperate, see what's going on before he takes down his next target across there with the M416, and then another guy who is trying to break in through the windows. Unfortunately, he is running low on ammo, so has to go back in there, take the kit of someone that he previously murdered. And then once he starts shooting at that first guy there, you could pretty much tell that he wasn't really a fan of the kit that he had acquired, so he then shoots this guy in the face, takes his gun, and tries to continue his kill streak. He does get one guy here before he is somehow headshotted around a corner because Battlefield 4, and yeah, that's kind of how this game works. But luckily for him, he does get revived, so he can just get back up and right back into the action. He just goes straight into this room, takes down that first guy there with the AKU-12, and then he realizes he has an RPG, so he puts that to use and gets himself a nice little double kill here. All in all, a very nice kill streak in a short period of time. Awesome stuff. Let's move on. Clip number 7, here we have Stereocraft Films. And he's just cruising around doing his thing here on Silk Road in a helicopter. And he's trying to lock onto this target down here. He's looking at him. But then he stops and he's like, oh, looking at his map. He sees the guy in the jet lining up on him. So he then lines up on him, whips out the RPG out the door, takes that guy out. Unfortunately, his helicopter is now upside down, so it's time to abandon ship. And on the way down, he's like, oh, I'm gonna try and get that helicopter once again. Why the fuck not, man? And of course, this being the top plays, he gets it. Takes that fucker down. That was awesome. Fair enough. Clip number 8 today, we have Rexor. And he's playing some obliteration on Siege of Shanghai. And his team are right on top of one of the objectives. And this helicopter is just chilling here for some reason. I don't really know the background story on that. But he just hops in the minigun, starts mowing fuckers down left, right, and center, protecting the bomb. Unfortunately, some of his teammates did bite the dust trying to get in there to arm this objective over here. And he does end up being the one that has to go in and arm it himself. With this being obliteration, the bomb sites are a little bit funny sometimes when it comes to arming them. But eventually he does get around it and gets armed, so all is well there. And then this guy just shows up. Time to get the fuck out of a helicopter if a tank just pretty much crushes it. But the guy kind of fucks up a little bit, and I don't know why, but he gets out of his tank. Never get out of your tank when there's people in your immediate vicinity. Unless you have an RPG and it's low on health and you can easily take the tank out if it becomes a problem. Because if you give that enemy player your tank, this can happen. He just rolls up, kills 2 guys, and then as they try to speed away with the bomb, he pulls off a great shot taking down the enemy jet ski with the bomb there, and just leaves the bomb out in no man's land. And this guy makes a bit of a dumb decision. I mean, don't just go straight at a tank. I know the objective's right there, the bomb is right there, but driving in a straight line right at a tank is never really a good idea. So those guys didn't last very long. He can get repaired, and now they have a tank. I think someone just went and retrieved the bomb. So now they've got the tank, they've got the bomb, they've got the objective within fucking feet, and they can just roll in and see if they can arm this shit and get themselves in a good position for the rest of the game. Not too sure why that exploded there though. But as he rolls back up towards this bomb site once again, he gets in there, gets armed, and it's time to just try and protect this shit. And it doesn't really take that long for the bomb to actually explode in obliteration, so they don't really need to be lurking around here for too long. And then this chopper shows up. He just shoves a shell right up his ass and it just immediately plunges into the ground. But all in all, a very nice clip, helping his team on the way to winning the game. Clip number 9 today here, we have Pakalasku. And he's playing on Silk Road in the LAV. And as he just cruises up here on top of this little sand dune just here, looks off surveying the land, lets rip of a tow missile. And then just guides it, of course, this being the top place, he's gonna land that shit. Look how much distance there is between us and that fucking helicopter. And he lands the shot perfect. But the helicopter isn't quite dead. So it's time to put some more shots across the map, and I'm not too sure if he actually landed those because I can't really see, but in the end he does kill the guy. But this clip is not over. As he backs up here on top of the sand dune once again, he lets rip with another tow missile. And that guy there who's cruising along doing his own thing does not know impending death is on its way, and he takes him down also. But somehow again is not credited with the kill. That seems to be a theme. Never mind, there it is there. But then he lets rip with another tow missile launcher here. And he takes down another aircraft, this time a jet. 3 shots, 3 aircraft. That's fucking awesome. Well done, sir. For our next clip up today here, we have Panzer Pest. And he's playing on Operation Lockers. And the main thing he's going to be using in this clip here is this here, the M26 mask. Once again, it's being used in another top place clip. And a lot of people, like I mentioned earlier on, have been using this recently. And they've been dealing out the death with this thing. But he's just killed 2 people just there so far in the clip. This here is his 3rd before he almost dies. He gets quite lucky there was a health pack right at his feet. And, well, yeah, so that's 3 people so far you've seen actually him do on camera. He killed 2 beforehand. So I cut those out because there was a long period with nothing happening. So that's 5, then there's the 6th one there, and then the 7th, and this is gonna be a long kill streak. I'm just gonna say that right now. As he jumps up on top of these boxes just here, he takes down another 2 with the M26 mask before going for the long range one here with his Scar H. And really, in this clip here, the Scar H is the secondary weapon. Very much the M26 mask is what he's going to be killing people with as he charges in the room, takes another one out just there, and then he's just going to sort of post up by this door and just wait it out as he actually starts recuperating more ammo through the wall with the enemy player's ammo kit that they've left lying at his feet. But it's time to go back out for more. The enemy team are just all bunched up around this one area here, and I don't know how, and you'll notice in a second here, I do not know how this guy survives for as long as he does. He just keeps popping around this corner right into a firing squad. He's up in flames and shit. He almost dies a good 5 or 6 times in such a close proximity here. And then as he comes around the corner, he gets a nice little 3-piece on those guys. I think they all just missed their shots, and if they landed them, they would have killed them, but he took them down. And he's got over 1,300, almost 1,400 points. Now it's over that as he comes charging through the gate. He kills another couple of guys with the M26 mask. And then as he jumps in here trying to kill some more people, unfortunately he does die. As you've seen there, he's got 22 kills so far in his streak. But the streak is not over. He's going to get revived and get up and go for some more people, taking down his 23rd target in a row there. I say in a row, he has actually been revived twice since the start of this game. But regardless, it's a very, very nice streak, tearing through enemies. But if you guys enjoyed this week's Battlefield 4 top plays, don't forget to hit that like button down below. And I will see you guys next week. Goodbye.